Like so many other people in the world today, I am addicted to my phone. Let me walk you through a typical day in my life. Every morning when my alarm goes off, I spend at least 20 minutes aimlessly scrolling through social media. Then I head over to the gym where I alternate between a set of weights and a set of looking through emails, all before coming back to my apartment so that I can watch YouTube videos while I eat breakfast. Then I take a shower and put on a shirt just so that I can alternate between a little bit of work and a little bit of scrolling. You're probably seeing a pattern here. Scrolling with someone else, then maybe I'll head to bed and scroll a little bit more. For a while now, I've really wanted to challenge myself to break my phone addiction, and I figured what better time to challenge yourself than at the start of a new year. So right now it is December 31st, and for the next 7 full days, I'm not going to touch my phone. And to help me with that, I have my girlfriend Teresa, who will be the keeper of my phone. So when I ask you to give me my phone back, what do you say?
Nope.
There you have it, folks. Let's see how this goes. Alright, so today is day 1 of this challenge, and the first thing I'm definitely noticing is a slight anxiety this morning. I feel like I've become so used to checking my phone right away when I wake up that when I don't do that, my morning routine's kind of missing something. I don't go through all of my emails, my text messages, miss social media stuff. So when I don't do that, I feel slightly anxious, and I'm interested to see how I progress on that throughout the day. Today, I want to talk to you about sleeping. When you research how to break phone addiction, one of the tips you'll often find is that you should separate yourself from your phone and sleep with it in another room entirely. And while the premise behind that concept is really great, I've always found it hard to stick to that because, like many people, my phone is my alarm clock. So in order to combat this, I'm breaking out this old school alarm clock here, and the hope is that I can wake up every morning and not feel the need to use my phone because it's not even in the same room as me, and it's something I want to introduce into my life even after this challenge is over. But I'm not claiming that using an alarm clock is some type of revolutionary life hack that's gonna change everything for you. But I'm just saying that's a small idea that can definitely help you if you find yourself using a lot of screen time right before bed and right when you wake up. Here on day 3 of the no phone challenge, I'm really having my discipline tested right now. So I've had these plans with a friend to meet up for the Washington Capitals hockey game tonight, and we're meeting at a bar downtown at 5:30. But because I don't have my phone on me and it's gonna be crowded down there, hopefully we can find each other and meet up because he has my ticket. And if you don't have your phone, you can't really communicate, call, text, or anything. So if I can't find him, don't know what's gonna happen. So let's see.
All right, so we were able to meet up without any problems, and now we're at the game enjoying ourselves.
Alright, so it is day 4 of this challenge, and I'm actually finding this to be a really fascinating experiment. So before I started this challenge, I thought that my main problem was that I always wanted to have social media and be in constant communication with others. But I've actually noticed over the course of the last 3 days that the problem is that I'm super reliant on my phone for many small things that add up to a full reliance and a need to constantly have that technology on me at all times. So every day now, I've been trying to take note of the times that I want to use my phone for something small that's not social media and kind of figure out a way that I can replace that going forward so I'm not as reliant on it. And I've made a list here, and it's probably very relatable to a lot of people, but I found that my phone is my clock, so I'm starting to wear a watch. It's my calendar, so I've put a calendar on the wall. It's my Google Maps, which honestly, probably not gonna change Google Maps, that's great. It's my notepad, so I have to carry around a pen and paper. It's my Metro card, so I'll buy a real Metro card again. It's my flashlight, so maybe get a real flashlight, get more lights. There's just so many things that we use our phone for every day that we might not even notice, and it makes it hard to get rid of that technology entirely. So checking back in here midday, I went to the gym just now, and I noticed a few small issues that came with not bringing my phone there. So first, my gym membership is actually hooked up to the app on my phone. So without my phone, I had to have a worker look me up on the system in order to be let into the gym. And second, a lot of you are probably thinking that my phone is my music. So I can't listen to my music in my headphones when I'm there without my phone. Therefore, I'm listening to the gym's pop hits playlist. Not great. So those are just 2 little inconveniences that a phone definitely makes a lot easier. So far, I've definitely focused a lot on the negatives of this challenge and not having a phone rather than the positives, but that's gonna change today. And I wanna talk about 3 benefits in particular that have really stood out to me so far. The first is how I spend my breaks or short amounts of free time. So normally if I have like 20 or 30 minutes, I'll spend that just looking through social media or random things on my phone. But without that option, I'm trying to replace it with something productive instead. So maybe journaling, doing some cleaning of the dishes, reading a book. So doing things that are productive and worthwhile rather than just looking through a phone endlessly. Second, and this is a big one for a lot of people in the American work culture, is that if I don't have my phone on me, I don't feel the need to always be responding to work stuff. So normally I'll always get Slack messages or email notifications and feel the need to respond right away or just always be communicating. But if I'm not on my computer now, then I don't have to do that, and I feel a lot less pressure and anxiety over the work-life balance. Lastly, one that I'm really enjoying is that I find I'm being tested socially and my attention span. So normally if I'm watching a game or a show, it goes to commercial, immediately my phone's out. And similarly, for instance, if I'm out in public and a conversation's kind of awkward or dying down, I reach my phone. It's like a crutch. But without that option, I find that I'm being tested and I really have to be more engaged and with it and have a longer attention span. So that's really cool. Over the last 6 days, I've been doing a lot of people watching. One thing that I'm really noticing is that when you go out in public and actually take a true look around you, it's kind of staggering how many people are looking at their phones. So for example, I just took the metro down here to the National Mall in Washington, D.C. And when I was on the metro, I looked around at everyone else on the train car with me, and basically every single person was head down looking at their device. And normally if I had my phone on me, I'd be one of them. Now, I'm not saying that using your phone on a metro is a problem. What I think is the real problem is that because phones give us such instant gratification, that people really can't handle any minute of boredom. And I'm the same way, that the second I feel any sense of boredom, I have to pull out my phone and go on social media, do something that gives me that dopamine squirt. So something that I'm noticing when I'm out in public this week without a phone is that I don't really know where to put my eyes. I'm kind of used to having my phone, like if I'm sitting alone at a coffee shop or a restaurant or on the metro, I'm used to looking at it instead of looking up and like seeing different people and looking around. So I can't help but people watch or look at random things. So it's kind of interesting how I'm so used to looking at my phone in public and don't even really notice it when I have it. So I guess to make a long story short here, I've become much more observant during this challenge. So next time you're out in a crowded place, really take a look around and observe what the phone situation is like. One that I've really noticed a lot of is that in restaurants, there'll be groups of people at a table sitting around and everyone's looking at their phone, no one's talking to each other, and that's just kind of a thing we've accepted in society, but I guess it's kind of weird, right? Anytime that you have a long-term plan in life, it's always important to ask yourself 2 questions. Is what I'm doing sustainable, and is it effective? So here on my final day of this week-long no phone challenge, I find myself pondering those 2 questions. Is going forward with very minimal or no phone use really sustainable in life? And is going 7 days without a phone really an effective way to stop a phone addiction? So firstly, after 7 days, I found not having a phone at all to not be a very sustainable long-term goal. I think that you need to at least limit your phone use, but you can't cut it out altogether because phones are so interwoven in society today. They're everything from communication, transportation, even menus at restaurants, social media, everything. So not having a phone in public can make things very difficult for you, which doesn't make it sustainable. But alternatively, if you were to ask me if I think that going 7 days without a phone is effective in reducing phone addiction, I would say yes and no. On the negative side of it, I just think that 7 days isn't really a long enough stretch of time to fully break the habit and dependence on my phone. I find that it's kind of like the old saying goes, 21 days to form a habit. You just need a longer stretch of time without your phone to fully break the dependence that you have on that device. But on the other very positive side of this, I find that the last 7 days have been a great breath of fresh air and helped me take a step back from that ever-evolving wheel of life. I've kind of thought introspectively about when do I use my phone, why do I rely on it so much, where do I feel the need to pull it out the most, and then I can use all of that knowledge and think about myself in a different light going forward and how I can stop using it so much and what I can do to change that. And lastly, for this challenge, I've done a lot of research on best ways to reduce phone usage, and I already shared the one about sleeping with it in another room using a real alarm clock, but I want to share 3 more that I find really helpful that you can definitely adopt in your daily life. The first, and one that I really like, is that you should make it harder for yourself to get into your phone in the first place. So maybe making a much longer password, two-step authentication, maybe having a rubber band around your phone every time you want to use it so that you trick your mind into not wanting to open it because it takes longer than normal. And the next is only using your phone in one location in your house or your apartment. So you always leave your phone on the dining room table. If you want to use it, you have to sit there or stand there and use it, but you don't bring it with you to bed, you don't bring it with you to the couch, only in that one location. The last one is that notifications can be one of the most addicting things, so don't get them for anything that's not really important. So limit it to only text and calls, don't get social media pings, work email pings, everything like that, because you're gonna keep wanting to go back when your phone lights up. And that is everything that I learned and experienced over my 7-day no phone challenge. I really hope you found this informative and liked the video. And if you did, please support the channel, like and subscribe. It means the world to me as I hope to put out more content like this and really grow this channel even further. Thank you, everyone. So it's day 8. I just got my phone back. I was super excited to check all my notifications, and it's dead. Maybe that's a sign.